Welcome to the Case Study Learning Series in International Business by Skilled MBA. Today's case, titled Climate Change Conference, Global Negotiation Simulation, immerses participants in a multi-stakeholder simulation designed to replicate the challenges of international climate negotiations. Students assume the roles of different global actors, each navigating the political, economic, and ethical trade-offs necessary to reach a global climate agreement. This exercise mirrors the real-world complexity of achieving multilateral climate goals amid diverse national interests. This is a five-party simulation conducted in class without the need for software. Participants engage through live negotiations that simulate United Nations-style climate talks. Roles include developed countries, developing countries, OPEC fossil fuel companies, electric vehicle, EV firms. Each group brings a distinct perspective with overlapping and conflicting priorities across climate finance, emissions targets, and community protection. The five stakeholder groups represent diverse positions in the global climate landscape: developed countries, wealthier nations with historical emissions responsibility and financial resources; developing countries, economies still growing, needing support to adopt sustainable development; OPEC, oil-producing nations balancing fossil fuel dependency with environmental accountability; fossil fuel companies, corporates under pressure to decarbonize while maintaining shareholder returns; EV firms, champions of clean technology pushing for rapid transition and supportive policies. The first agenda item focuses on commitments to net zero emissions, broken into four priorities: emissions reduction targets aligned with the 1.5-degree pathway, coal phase-out timelines across regions, methane reduction, especially from agriculture and energy sectors, halting deforestation by preserving carbon sinks like tropical forests. Parties must negotiate both the ambition and timelines of these measures. This issue includes three key pillars: climate adaptation, funding for resilience in vulnerable regions, including healthcare and disaster infrastructure; natural habitat preservation, expanding protected areas and empowering indigenous stewardship; just transition measures, programs for workers and regions dependent on fossil fuel industries, ensuring equity during the transition. The challenge is to ensure that no community is left behind. Finance lies at the heart of climate diplomacy: public funding, government contributions to climate funds; private investment, incentivizing corporations to finance green innovation; institutional capital, redirecting pensions, endowments, and sovereign wealth funds; blended finance, public-private partnerships that de-risk large-scale sustainability investments. These tools are critical to meeting global climate goals. Their stance is shaped by historical responsibility for emissions and global leadership expectations, technological edge, leverage in clean energy innovation, financial capacity, yet under pressure from taxpayers and political opposition; policy tools, carbon pricing, subsidies, and regulatory mandates. They are expected to lead, but must balance domestic politics with global obligations. Key priorities include energy access, expanding electricity to underserved regions; industrial growth, sustaining economic development with cleaner tools; climate finance, securing adequate support to meet goals; climate justice, ensuring burden sharing reflects both capabilities and responsibilities. These nations demand fair treatment and material support to decarbonize equitably. Oil-producing countries face existential questions: economic dependence, national revenues still tied to fossil exports; diversification plans, investing in renewables to prepare for future demand shifts; production strategy, balancing market share with environmental image; negotiation goals, push for compensation, transition funding, and policy flexibility. They must protect economic stability while engaging in climate action. These firms take a phased approach, Short term, improve efficiency and reduce emissions intensity. Medium term, shift toward natural gas and cleaner fuel portfolios. Long term, invest in renewables, carbon capture, and transition technologies. Stakeholder pressures, manage regulatory expectations and investor demands simultaneously. They are vital players, yet often under scrutiny. EV companies bring data-backed optimism. 73% of global transport emissions are from vehicles that can be electrified. 65% battery cost reduction over the last decade. 134 million EVs projected to be sold annually by 2035. A $14 trillion global market by 2050. They push for bold targets, subsidies, and fossil fuel phase-outs. The simulation encourages students to experience coalition building, alliances formed to shift voting blocks and influence. Information. Asymmetry. Technical knowledge gaps lead to power imbalances. Trade-offs. Hard choices between economic development, emissions cuts, and political feasibility. These dynamics reflect real global diplomacy. The negotiation produces 4 tangible outputs: climate agreement, with clear targets and timelines; stakeholder impact analysis outlining who wins or loses under the deal; implementation roadmap assigning responsibilities; evaluation framework to measure alignment with the 1.5 degrees C climate goal. These outputs test practical policy and communication skills. Participants gain deep insights into climate governance complexity, experience in multi-party negotiation and compromise, empathy for opposing views, sharpening diplomatic strategy, skills to lead in future international business and sustainability contexts. This case blends technical knowledge with soft power in action. This exercise has been thoughtfully designed for courses in international business, especially those focused on global governance challenges. It aligns closely with graduate business programs that emphasize sustainability and strategic decision-making. According to the academic brief, authors: Fanshu Li, Sally Li, Andreas Schotter, and NZ. Publication date: July 2024. Length: 5 pages. Language: English. Discipline: International business. Educators can tailor the case's complexity depending on the experience level of the students. Whether in early-stage learning or advanced strategy courses, the simulation fosters rich, practical learning experiences in navigating complex international negotiations. Thank you for engaging in Climate Change Conference Global Negotiation Simulation, presented as part of the Case Study Learning Series in International Business by Skilled MBA. This experience shows that global climate progress demands more than science. It requires diplomacy, empathy, compromise, and bold leadership. May you carry these lessons forward as we shape the future of sustainable international business together.